Good morning, everyone. Today I will be explaining the game that I inspired from to create my own game. So, this is a game of Kerbal Space Program, which is basically a space flight simulation video game and developed by the developers of Squad and published by private division for Microsoft Windows and every other station on which you can play a normal game. Its first public version was released digitally on Squad's Kerbal Space Program storefront on 24 June 2011. Moving on to its gameplay, the player administers a space program operated by Kerbals, a species of small green humanoids, who has constructed a spaceport called the Kerbal Space Center on their home planet, Kerbin. From this planet center, players can create rockets, aircraft, planes, rovers, and other craft from a provided set of the component. Once built, the craft can be launched by players from the Kerbal Space Center, launchpad, or the runway. To visualize vehicle's trajectory, the player must switch into map mode. The displays of the orbit or trajectory of the player vehicle as well as the position and other trajectories of other spacecraft and planetary bodies. These planetaries and other objects can be targeted to view information needed for rendezvous docking such as ascending and descending nodes, target direction and relative velocity to the target. While in map mode, player can also access manual nodes to plan out trajectory changes in advance, which help in accurately planning burns. Burns are basically entering into the orbit of any planet. The air resistance, the heat that the space satellite has to uh, receive while entering the orbit. So, moving on to its physics, which is my main theme. It is not a perfect simulation of the reality, but it has accurate orbital mechanics, which has attracted me. All objects in the game, except the celestial bodies, are simulated using Newtonian dynamics. For instance, rocket thrust is applied to a vehicle's frame based on the placement of force generating elements and joints between parts and have limited strengths, allowing vehicle to be torn apart by excessive or misdirected forces. This has to be noted here: excessive or misdirected forces. The game also simulates trajectories and orbits using patched conic approximation instead of a full n-body simulation, which is a different approach from other games of the same kind. The in-game astronauts, which is green humanoids called as Kerbals, are physically stimulated. Hitting an object with their feet causes them to tumble. Some celestial bodies has atmosphere of varying heights and distance densities, affecting the impact of drag on wings and parachute. The simulations are accurate enough that the real-world techniques such as aerobaking are viable methods. The full 1.0 release. So my inspiration is that let us consider this is my Windows screen and we are in space. That is, there is no outer force acting on the all the game objects that present in games. Now I will take a planet here and a planet here. Sorry for my misdiagram. Let me erase it. Thank you for the patience. Now I will take a planetary body here and let us say its gravitational force is still here and of the gravitational force of planet B is still here. Now, whenever the player clicks anywhere on the screen, it will spawn a square object that will be affected by the gravity of the planets A and B if it resides in either of the line. So if it's in planet B gravitational force, then it will be attracted to B. If it's in A, it will be attracted toward A. It is to be noted that the planet A and B are of varying mass density so that their gravitational pull is not equal. Now the player could also experiment whether on which part the object would be attracted if it is placed in the common area. It would be a great mechanics for the player or the students to experience what the various possibilities in the Newtonian gravitational force. So that's my inspiration. Hope you liked it. Thank you.